My most enduring memory of Gerald was just fun that we had with him. But I think for me the most important thing is that he was beloved by so many people, and he managed to make everybody feel like they were his very dearest friend. And I never think of that in a disparaging way. I think he genuinely cared about so many different types of people.
We had a very close working relationship. We spent a lot of time on the road together, trundling around South Africa in a beaten old Volkswagen. After he left the country, I was working in the trade union movement, and I travelled relatively often to international meetings and would always make sure to go and see him when he was in Holland and then when he lived in London. And I guess it was in that period that our relationship went to a new level. We became not just sort of close work friends, but real friends.
The thing about Gerald was that he knew that this country was really, really in dire trouble, and I think that the kind of work he did with equal education and those kind of groups was quite profound, and to see that activist centre where it is and in the place it is just extraordinary. I can remember when they were in container boxes, equal education, and he really, really respected those young, fine, bright minds, and he was never pedantic about it in a way. He just was inspired by them, and when Gerald was inspired to do something, he made it happen, and that's what was so special about him.
He always thought beyond the moment, and I think it was almost only when he went that I realized the extent to which he was such a forward thinker. Gerald, in his work with Gala, really pushed the boat out and put sexuality on the agenda in a way that it hadn't been previously, and in a way that made it possible for very traditional institutions like the trade unions to relate to and take on board. And I think that was his gift to all of us.
I do feel that there is so much that Gerald still gives to this country, and being in the other foundation today is so important. I think that it meant so much for him that this could happen. And I think about the big building that's on the Cape Flats now. There is so much that Gerald left behind, that it is an extraordinary well-lived life. Short, but incredibly well-lived, and we are lucky to have had him in our world.